And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Raphael. We're going to be drafting 2025 little board real quick. So if you are here, please join. It'd be great to see you all. Let us see. Waiting on 7. I have to tweak my ranks a little bit. There's just player takes that I think are different now. That I have different now that I've thought about a little bit more. Hopefully you guys can see that, hear me well. Camera is on still. I was on my phone to join the chat. If you know how to pull up the chat, that would be great. If anybody is on here and knows how to pull up the chat, that would be awesome. 4 left. Let's see. Channel. So I'm just gonna have the chat on my phone. And I'll answer you guys like that. And we can go from there. Let's see. Hopefully that works just fine. It would be nice to just do something else with the chat. But of course, I'm not able to. Let's see. I'm trying to think. And we're in. We are in, ladies and gentlemen. We are in. Oops. Let's go back. Pick 10. Pick 10's not terrible. I like pick 11 a little bit more because you're at the edge. You can get, or your double tap's more available to you. It's basically 2 more people that you were waiting on. Or 2 more picks, essentially. Twice the amount that someone else can grab your player. A couple badges in here. There is 3 badgeless people. 1, 2, 3 other badgeless people besides me. What I'm thinking here is we're gonna do well, I shouldn't give it away. Jamar at the 101. He's my 101. I think he's the best pick. Has touchdown upside. He has a phenomenal quarterback in Joe Burrow. If Burrow can stay healthy, you guys have heard me rant and have that rant. Bijan at the 102. I think Bijan at the 102 is quite insane. He's been one of the fades, early round fades that I have had. Maybe because of where I pick from, but I've picked from the 3 spot, the 7th spot, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I've picked all over the board. I just like Gibbs more. If you've watched my other videos, I like Gibbs more, Jefferson. Those 2 are the main clicks in the middle round. I've been fading a little bit of Puga just because of the Stafford news. I think he's an interesting pick in the middle of the first round. I think he should have been going later where I'm picking from. Nico has been another fade of mine. I think CD will just be fine with Dak coming back. Lower grade on Derrick Henry is interesting in the first round. I do have him in my first round. And then I'll get to Nico right now. So St. Brown is basically my choice. I think you can talk yourself into like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think Neighbors is actually interesting too as well. I just think in Underdog when you need touchdown upside, I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is just the click there. There's a couple other guys that I'm thinking right now, so it's either AJ Brown, Drake London, Brock Bowers is. I have him all the way at 4 in my rank. I think I like him as in here. I haven't grabbed a ton of Brock Bowers. Had another draft last night. Jonathan Taylor is interesting too, a guy that can maybe get a little bit of improvement at that level. If I'm just thinking between Brock Bowers, Jonathan Taylor, Drake London, AJ Brown, I think it'll be AJ Brown that I decide to pick. I should have probably went Bowers because of what he offers in the tight end position. I think in the second round, Bowers is great. At the end of the first, if you are really fading like an Achan, Ashton Jeanty, even Neighbors with a rookie quarterback, I think Bowers there is just fine if you're not able to get St. Brown, Brian Thomas. But I think AJ Brown should be a top 12 pick in my opinion. Just because I think the team won't be as dominant. Their approach to the offense is going to be a bit different, and we're going to get a whole season out of AJ Brown. He's been this combination that I have going right now is just a top combination that I have throughout my little and big boards, and I don't think you can go wrong with two really strong wide receivers at this position. These were two guys that were going in the top 12 last year. Going to the second round, another one of my fades is Ladd McConkey. I just think on Underdog, I think in, let's say, DraftKings, I think, and then DraftKings Best Ball, I think Ladd McConkey is just a fine pick as a top wide receiver because he offers that you can get over 100 yards easy on like 7 to 8 catches. But I don't see the Chargers as a team to throw around the end zone. It's going to be he seems more like a Zay Flowers-y type player, smaller. However, he's going to offer, I think, a bit of a higher floor than a Zay Flowers. The end of the second, early third, I think, is where he should be going. Kind of where Devontae Smith ended up last year. Coming back around, I think I do haven't had a ton of elite quarterback. I think Allen is very overpriced. The third and fourth round I do like a lot. I think last year I was very hesitant to draft a lot of second round players. Then I had a lot of fade positions where I knew that they had a lot of outcome to not end up in the first round. There's a reason why the same guys get picked in the first round, kind of the same order, and the second round players are more up in debate, and whoever you like, you really take in the second round. Coming back around to you, Garrett Wilson is nice in the third round. DJ Moore is nice in the third round. Breece Hall, I think I'll come around to him. It just depends who they get at quarterback. Just a competent player, I think. I think Brees will be used interestingly. Chase Brown, another guy I really like in the third. Just a lot of picks in the third. Like I would rather have. It's weird, even though it's like sooner. I would rather have Bowers in the first round, McBride in the second. It just allows me to get who I like more in the third. If I were to draft a tight end early, then Bowers in the second. I'm gonna probably maybe I should go Hurts, Jalen. I'm gonna go Jaden. I think Jaden just has far better upside to throw the ball. Hopefully they can get him some wide receivers. Hopefully that's not a bad pick on my part. I think he can be MVP caliber next year. A guy that I'm always drafting in the Terry probably went already. Yeah, Terry's gone. Guy that I'm always drafting in the fourth round is DeKalen Metcalf. I might go Chuba just to switch it up here a bit. But it is DK Metcalf. Getting those guys, I'm gonna go DK. Getting DK Metcalf in the fourth round is, I think, like getting T. Higgins in the fourth round last year. A guy that can get in the end zone, a competent quarterback. Um, I think he was injured a lot last year, especially after the bye week, which is why JSN was being used. Me as being a Seattle fan, I did think he was more. I was in more of the weeds with my Seahawks team. Um, and I think the other player that is going to be quite fun is probably Xavier Worthy in the fourth round. Marvin Harrison drops to the fourth. That's probably where I would have taken him. Not really on him, though. I think Marv is more like a sixth, seventh round, late, probably between early sixth and late sixth round player, maybe even early seventh round player. I just don't think Kyler can support so many pass catchers in me, and I don't think the type of receiver Marvin Harrison is, it's gonna fit with Kyler Murray. Um, so right now we do have the start of Jayden Daniels, Amon-Ra St. Brown, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, not in that order. So really three strong wide receivers that can hit my lineup week in and week out that have big play upside ability that can advance my team, and a really strong quarterback. So I can wait. I can wait and grab Gino in like the 15th or maybe in the 14th and reach a little bit on him. And then maybe I'll grab another quarterback like Bryce Young or something like that. I really do like to go three quarterbacks if possible. I think Jackson Dart is a fun play to land on the Jets, on the Raiders, on, I'm trying to think, the Colts even. There's just a couple of teams that I just thought in my head could land at Jackson Dart, and that would be fun. Even the Saints, maybe. This round is more like I take running back. If Addison falls, I would have taken Addison. Him falling to the middle of the fifth is crazy. I think he should be like a third round player. Let's see. Just because they're a pass heavy team, he can get in the end zone. He can get end zone targets as well. I would have to see his targets. Here, I'm thinking Walker. Walker goes. I haven't got James Conner in a while. They're going to be a team that uses James Conner. I think James Conner as a running back one, probably going to get injured this year. Didn't get injured last year, but a very fun running back, kind of going in the same range too as well. Olave was there. Wow. See, I have to change my rankings a little bit. I'm gonna get Travion Henderson. I think just on what I've heard from other analysts, looking at his game film and looking at his stats, his yards per carry, he has dual threat running back ability, and maybe that's the wrong way to say it, but I do think that um, Henderson is going to be able to get on the field easier than let's say Ollie Gorton or someone like that. Yes, they are drafted at totally different positions, but when you draft a high running back, you're going to want a guy that can do everything, catches the ball, is explosive, is good in between the tackles, etc., etc. I think I kind of liked Omarion Hampton, and then I watched his film a little bit more, really analyzed each play by play, and I just thought he should be going maybe a round or two later. He's more like a Tony Pollard-ish running back. I think he's probably going to be a guy that just, if he lands in the right situation, it'll be nice for him. Um, but you can get a player like Cam Scatterboom, the 9th, 10th, instead, and keep that shot at tight end or another wide receiver. Or if you haven't got quarterback, you can do that as well. And I don't think that's really where you're going. Quarterback in the 6th round, though. The title of this, so we're going to jump into the title of this video. The reason why I named it the early draft, or get in early, essentially, is because you're going to want to think about the range of outcomes early in the draft. And you're going to want to see where these players are. So this is what I did last year. I followed the draft. I followed free agency. And then I thought about, like, what are the good fits? I think after coming out of this year, I think what I really understood was you're going to have to draft good teams and good players on good teams. And then what is their fit in terms of what they do as the team? So the Chargers, like I bring up again, is a good example. They're going to want to run around the goal line. They're not going to want to do anything risky and pass the ball around that goal line. We are on the clock. I'm thinking, so I love Pearsall. I think Hawkinson is interesting as well. Andrews, Aaron Jones. I'm gonna go Hawkinson. I can just see Hawkinson being a player that JJ McCarthy leans on. If he does feel flustered a little bit, he's the closest. He's gonna be like the closest wide receiver to McCarthy. McCarthy hasn't. It's basically he's going into his rookie year. He has played it with a dominant O line in college and even in high school. Just playing on the better teams, so his O line is going to be much better. two of my players that I queued up, Aaron Jones and Ricky Pearsall, go off the board. But JJ McCarthy is probably going to get a little bit of flustering and probably going to be more that Brock Purdy type player, which is going to pay off his ADP. But he is going to play like a rookie. I think he has enough talent around him where he can improve as the season goes on. I don't think he's going to probably look as bad as Caleb. He might put up, I think he can have like a Bo Nix type year, even better than that. Even like a Joe Burrow second year or first year playing. Let's see. Mark Andrews is kind of interesting there. Who was I thinking? Yeah, I guess clock runs out. I'm going to grab Andrews. I can really just stop at tight end there and say, these guys get me there. They have spike weeks. They're going to get into the end zone. I think, and I think he's going to I think these guys are going to hit my flex probably. I think the right play there was, a wide receiver, Josh Downs, Darnell Mooney, Rashid Shaheed. These are just my rankings, so probably I think going Caleb would have been interesting too. Or a Warren. He's a more rounded wide receiver, but tight end, but these other two tight ends are pretty rounded. Keon Coleman would have been interesting. See, this is where now it gets real fun. Kind of my player takes. I haven't really got a double tap at tight end in the middle rounds like this, so this will be an interesting thing. I've done this 3 wide receivers. I've done Travion Henderson, I think, with these wide receivers. I haven't done James Conner or Jayden Daniels. So this is an interesting start for me, I think. When you want to draft, going back to the title, getting in early, I think the reason why you want to start drafting early is you want to start, like I said, thinking of the range of outcomes and thinking of, are these players going in the right positions? Should I draft them now because they're going to climb, or should I draft them later on in the season because they're going to fall? The other thing I think of why we should be drafting year-round is because I think the best ADPs are probably in the early rounds when everybody is or when the Sharks essentially are drafting the players that know ball, the players that are in this, because some ADPs, I would say probably about 80% of the ADP is correct, because we're coming off of what they have just previously done. However, 20% and probably the guys that you really want on your team are players that probably going to go Keon here. But 20% of the guys are going to be players that are just in the worst place that you can find them, I think. Let's see. So who's available? Pretty done at tight end. People like Najee. I think Cam Scatterboo is probably more fun. I like Rico too. I think he's fun, but I can get him later. I'm going to lean towards Cam Scatterboo over Najee. I think I'm going to stay constant with that one, with that draft pick. So those two are my favorite rookie wide running backs this year. and Najee goes after me, which is totally fine. This guy, at the 9 hole, I can tell he is a listener of probably Ship Chasing or Pat Crane or Davis Maddock. Just Tucker Craft is a good pick. I like that pick. I've been picking him up a lot. Bo Nix a couple times. He has a stack with Cortland Sutton. It's Jalen Hurts. Excuse me. He probably listens to Liam Murphy also. Liam is a Kyron guy. I think Kyron's probably one of the worst picks on the board, in my opinion. I think going back to the reason why I think you want to be in the weeds and drafting and listening to players that where these players are going, where these coaches, what these coaches think about this draft, is because that those are the guys that are going to make the calls. They're not going to say, okay, this guy has the best stats going into week 7. It's going to be who's the guy that's the most reliable for a team that can win us the game. And I think Kyron, coming off that playoff loss, is a guy that going into next season is going to have a sour taste in Sean McVay's mouth. I think the Rams are, which is another reason why I think Puka and Kyron are in just not fun spots going into next season and us drafting now. Like I said, 80% of these draft places are kind of correct and 20% are not. I think Pook and Kyron land in that 20% range where I think right now, the way I'm reading it, and I could be totally wrong, but the way I'm reading it is Sean McVay is turning on the sirens and saying, we're going to just play defense, and we're kind of tearing apart. We have maybe our Puka for the next couple seasons, which is why I think he can go no later than the second round. But we're going to build it through our defense and kind of have a more defensive approach. As everyone is going offense, we're going to go the opposite way. I think Sean McVay is smart. I think he's showing us that. And maybe that's why Kyler is going so high. Maybe that's why Liam likes Kyler. Liam Murphy likes Kyler is because he's saying, okay, Kyler is going to stay with us because Stafford is leaving. So one of those guys in that starting lineup is not going to vote well for this Rams team. I think the coach. I think just like I said, drafting now is just really essential to drafting later because you can see how these coaches are thinking about the next season, how they're thinking about the season after that or the next couple of seasons. And I think every team is trying to compete for the championship going into the next going in for the next year. But I think the Rams are probably a team that are saying, and I'm on the clock. The Rams are probably a team. I like Rico. I really like Rico. Yeah, the Rams are just a team. And I know people are saying Rico over ADP. Yeah, that's crazy. No, not really. I think Bryce kind of alone is kind of fun too. Then I'll get him some rookies if he drops. Because he has ran around the end zone. I think that's important. I think he's not afraid to throw around the end zone, and that's what you want for a quarterback. Going back to the Rams and the Sean McVay my theory on the Rams and the Sean McVay 2025 season. McVay has his stability, I think, and he has his tenure with the Rams organization. He knows he's not going to get fired if they go 7-10 next year, because he has a clear vision for his team. And I think if that's trading up in the first round and Jackson Dart is still available, I think he's going to make that choice. I even think he could probably go quarterback going with Jackson Dart in the first round. I think he thinks that he has a wide receiver. The running backs are deep this year. He can grab a tight end also. Yeah, I think the Rams are very interesting in what they're going to do this season. I think he liked Blake Corum as a guy that they were really looking into, meaning and evaluating as a guy that can get leaned on, which is a quality that he likes. And then we have a guy that can get leaned on in Blake Corum, like Jim Harbaugh did in Michigan. And then if, like, say Kyron gets hurt, he is a good guy that can come and fill that backfield now. He had good, Blake Corum had good. He was talked well about in the offseason. However, I think what really defined Corum and his position in the Rams team and organization is that he was just not going to be a guy that complains about not getting time in the game. And so his talent was probably worse than McVay thought, which is why I think Kyron had a lot of touches this year. When I saw him on the field, and I'm not a Rams fan, or I don't watch the Rams exclusively, this next year I'm probably going to watch a lot more film, a lot more games, try to break those games down moving forward for 2026. But he just looked fat. Blake Corum looked fat, and he looked slow. And then you can tell in, like if I looked up Blake Corum draft or Blake Corum stats. Then I go to college. NCAA 2023 season, right? He was at a 4.8 yards per carry in 2023. It's a lot of touches. Let me get this draft pick off. Ooh, who do I want? Who do I want? Ray Davis is fun. I like Ray Davis. He's been one of my picks that I've just been grabbing all the time. I'm going to make this pick and then we can go on the rant again. I'm going to pick up Gino just to stack with DK and then we're good. Okay, going back to Corum, I thought it was like lower than 4.8. I thought it was like 4.3 yards per carry. 27 touchdowns is pretty good. I don't think he had very many receptions. Yeah, only having 117 yards. So going back to, like I was saying about Travion Henderson, I think Travion Henderson's probably a better running back than Blake Corum. A guy that can do it more in the NFL. Pass catching, he's a more versatile piece, I think. That 1-2 combo would be interesting. Kyron and Henderson. But what I'm saying is, like, you need to be in the weeds on what these coaches are saying during the draft season, during trades. So when a guy like DeAndre Swift is picked up and Saquon is picked up and Derrick Henry is picked up, those are signals to us drafters that are saying, okay, they're going to want to probably run the ball and use this guy. Even though like Caleb was picked in the first round, they wanted to establish some type of run game. And I think now if we're pivoting to the example of the Bears, I think the Bears are going to do just exactly that. So the Bears getting like a Travion Henderson too, or even like a Cam Scatterboo to be that Derrick Henry role. I think they're going to do Derrick Henry, going to have that Derrick Henry role. They're going to do what Jared Goff did and play action, but I think they're just going to have another type of weapon where Caleb is going to run the ball around a lot. And I was thinking about it this morning when I was doing some cleaning. But I think Caleb going where he's going at first, when I thought about it, I think in the 8th round is just too high. But I want to say that's where he was going last year. And so if a quarterback is being drafted in the same place that he was last year, but he has improvements at the coaching position, we already know his team around him is pretty solid. If they can just get him another tackle or a guard, and another running back, or a running back they really like to use, to give Caleb a balanced approach, I think Caleb will be very good, and the Bears can be a very solid offense, which is why I'm very into DJ Moore. I think he offers more of that Amon-Ra St. Brown type of playmaking ability. You get the ball short, intermediate, and even long. Has enough speed. He's a little bit older, so you can see Rome kind of coming into his own if he has enough in the bag. If he has like the JSN qualities, I don't think he's as good as JSN. Probably he's probably good enough hands, but his speed, his route running isn't as great, which is why I think JSN and DK do go closer to each other than DJ Moore and JSN. I mean DJ Moore and Roman Dunze. And then that's just me. Jalen Rose gets picked up. That's a great pick. That was my target. And go Jaden Higgins. Who else is available? Jordan Mason. I think Jordan Mason is another guy that just can get. I'm gonna go Jaden Higgins. He's got a lot of talk. Jack Besh. I think he's probably another target. I could probably get Besh. Maybe next round. He usually goes higher though. Jordan Mason or Jack Besh. Probably want Besh. I'm gonna get Besh. Um, And once we have Besh, we can probably do another tight end or wide receiver. So we're done at quarterback. We're going to do two more running backs, a wide receiver, and a tight end to end this draft here. What was I saying? I think I got the Blake Corum take. Oh, going back to Caleb Williams, and the Bears and coach speak and the moves. I don't think the Bears are going to be as bad as they were this year. Um, I think when I was first evaluating Caleb, it was more like if he can just play good enough, he can just be the talked about quarterback that he was, and that's the ultimate upside. But if he can just be like Russell Wilson, prime Russell Wilson, have wiggle ability, know how to move with behind the line of scrimmage. If he can get the ball accurately down the field, um, I think he'll be a very fun fantasy quarterback with even more rushing upside than Russell Wilson did. I think he can even get the ball in the end zone and be an end zone passer, and that's going to be fun. Or we're drafting him, like I was saying, we're drafting him kind of basically in the same spot, but he has less of a downside this year, in my opinion, because they have an improvement at the offensive coordinating position, at the head coaching position. And he's already had a year of experience with his pass catchers and a year in the NFL already. So it's going to slow down for Caleb. And I think Caleb has a chance to not win the division because I think that's going to be hard. Um, I think the Lions still have a chance to win that division, but they're going to be in the running for it. They're going to be in the running for it. Jordan Mason goes off, which sucks. I can do Gasecki. I can do. I think Elijah Arroyo is just a guy that I've heard a lot about. I liked his film. The guy I really like is Jack Bringstone, but he hasn't had much hype. He just looks elusive. AJ Barner looked nice with the Seattle. Maybe he is a late round shot for me. I'm probably gonna do Marshawn Lloyd. I liked his explosiveness out of high college last year. I think he'll be just better, get more playing time, in my opinion. Um, I think the running game in Green Bay is gonna be fun. Probably Lloyd. I go Lloyd or RJ Harvey. Ooh, I'm probably gonna go Lloyd. Need to look up RJ Harvey's stats though. UFC 6.8 yards per run, 5'9", 280. So he's just like a I can double tap it. A Royal goes, so that's even better. And I can just wait to get Barner in the 20th round. Probably grab Harvey next. Yeah, these are the guys that I'm targeting. If not, no biggie. I'll probably grab Noel or Samuel, Ricky White. Aeneas Smith is just a dart too. Grabbed Ricky White a couple of times already. Probably Aeneas. And Harvey goes. That sucks. Aeneas. Jordan James. Woody Marks. I think Woody Marks is just explosive and I like him. I was kind of in on Damian Martinez, but nah. Caleb Mullings. I'll just wait. I'll grab Noel. And then I'll just grab Kyle Monungai. Another guy just like. So we got Noel as our last pass catcher. We're going to do. So we're done at wide receiver. We're done at QB. We need a running back and a tight end. I think Barner's the tight end. Theo Johnson's interesting too. There's someone listening to SpongeBob right near me, so it's kind of funny. What I'm thinking about now. Yeah, so this draft's kind of done. What I really. The teams that are. I think the teams that I really don't understand are the teams that are kind of like they have good players, but their coach is conservative. And the thing is for me is what are the teams that are going to play a really good week 15, 16, 17? I think that's going to be like the Bengals again. Just teams that are not afraid to do something different late in the season and to really scrape by and get those wins. I think Green Bay is another team, but I don't know how talented they are. I think they're more. I want their running backs. Maybe I want Jordan Love, but they're an interesting spot and at who is going to get, who's their pass catcher is going to be. I think the Bears are very interesting. I like the Bears to be in the mix, trying to fight for that playoff spot. The teams that I don't want are like, or I don't want crazy guys that the atmosphere of the game has to be nuts. So like Quentin Johnson, I don't think he's going to be viable for week 17. And I could be wrong, but it's just like the Chargers have to go off. They have to show they have to show everything. They have to go all in, kind of like on the poker table. You have to go all in, show all your cards, reveal everything. In week 17, and just if they're already have locked up a playoff spot, which I think they're more than capable of doing. I think them and Denver is an interesting like toss up to see who is that team that really shows off. I think I lean more towards Denver. I think their coach is just more offensive based and not defensive based. I think the Eagles, you want their players because they're so good. But if they're, again, really dominant going into the playoffs, they're going to be more simple, I think, with Jalen and Saquon. The Saquon ADP is interesting because he doesn't really get into the end zone, and that's what you need in Underdog. But he gets so many carries. It is just absurd. I had to pick James or Kyle Monungai. Let's look it up. Jordan James. Not the guy I'm looking for. I got Jordan James. I could probably go Monungai here also. 5.4 yards per carry. 5'10". I like him. I like both of them. Let's see, Kyle Monunga. Shoot. I think I'm gonna do Kyle Monunga. Let's see, Kyle Monunga. I'm gonna do AJ Barner, actually. I did that because I have Gino. I have DK, and he had a couple end zone catches last year, and I think that's just fine. AJ Barner. Yeah, he had 4 touchdowns last year. If he can just get more catches, that'd be fun. He can give you another playoff touchdown. I think that's great and pays off his ADP. Kyle Monunga can really be a 0 for you, and that's not what you want. I think my running backs are just fine too as well. So the team is going to be Jayton Daniels at quarterback. Jayton Daniels, Bryce Young, Geno Smith. We have James Conner, Travion Henderson, Cam Scatterbu, Rico Dowdle, Ray Davis, Marshawn Lloyd, and Jordan James. So 2 backup running backs, probably 3 backup running backs, 1 real starter running back right now, 2 other rookie starting running backs that could be running backs, and probably Jordan Mason that can split a backfield or something. Really solid wide receivers with Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf. Maybe Keon Coleman can be the wide receiver 1X wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. Maybe he gets faster. Maybe the Bills starts to use him more. Just a wide receiver on a good team. I think Amari Cooper is past his prime, and they might move off of him. And then 3 wide receivers that had good mobile speech about, and that's another thing why, if you're drafting early or you want to draft early, you need to be looking at as well what are the players that really stand out amongst the others. Mobile, where they're training basically for training camp. Training for the combine, just to put out their best players foot forward and just to get better draft capital for themselves. Jayton Higgins, Jack Besh, and Jalen Noel, 2 Iowa States, I believe, wide receivers, and then Jack Besh from, I want to say a purple team up north, but I could be wrong. I think it's Texas Tech or Kansas State, maybe Texas. Jack Besh. TCU, okay, so Texas Christian University. Let's see. And then we got tight ends, TJ Hawkinson, Mark Andrews, and AJ Barner. 2 valuable tight ends that are going to be leaned upon, and then maybe a starting tight end that can be used in AJ Barner. And that's the team. That team looks really solid. We have just a really solid, rounded team, I think. If I had to nitpick on this team, I would say my running backs are probably the weakest amongst my team. What if Gino gets hurt or Bryce gets hurt or one of my quarterbacks get hurt because of 2 guys, one's skinny and one's small and one's old? Maybe the Seahawks bring in another quarterback. Who knows? But Gino just a really good quarterback. I think he has at least a full year left. I think maybe the Seahawks can move off of him, but that was a really good move by Pete and John Schneider going with Geno. And he's really developed into his own as a quarterback. Um, I think this team is really solid team. I'm gonna mark this as so. I have 27. Don't look at that. I have 27 little boards drafted, 10 big boards. I think I've drafted funner, more available big boards and little boards. Let's see. Ugh. Ugh. I'm gonna name this Feb 23rd live stream. YouTube. Really fun team right there. So if I can win the little puppy, the little board, I mean, on live stream, that would be really fun. Really fun to take down 100K. That would be really fun. I think just advance this team to week 17 would be also really nice. $60, but who knows? I really didn't check out the draft. All right, and we're gonna do just a big board real quick. I think I've talked about, and then we're gonna do some exposures. Look at my exposures, and then we're good. And then we are good. So looking for two. Maybe if I leave this one, yeah, I'm staying in this one. Waiting on two people. Let's see. Common guide. Yeah, that was a really good team. I really liked that team. I really like this other team that I also drafted. I'll show you guys after. Show you guys after this draft. Last night, probably gonna get kicked out though, because of the team that on the 12th hole I was drafting from the 11 or the 10, maybe the 9. I think I was drafting from the 9, and the 12th hole takes 5 quarterbacks from rounds 1 through 5. All the best quarterbacks. Terrible. His team didn't turn out too bad, but doing that, only landing like 5 wide receivers and 3 running backs, just not ideal in a draft that you like the team. Once he took like the 3rd quarterback, I'm like, okay, this guy's just ruining the draft basically for us. But always when you have that, and he picks a couple of players at ADP, you really want to just try to draft as good of a team as you can, because he's throwing money away and you're kind of taking that as an advantage. You know, this guy's probably already eliminated. It's now a 1v11 with 3 spots to advance, giving a little bit higher of an advanced rate in that pod if it does not get canceled. I'm at the 111. I really land a lot of 111s. I think I'm a guy that likes to draft in the middle and the late round and the late picks. I don't really like the early picks, especially at the 1 hole, the 2 hole. I like to draft the 3, 4, 5, probably, and then the 10 and the 11. That's really where I like. And probably the 7 if guys fall to me, but those are like where I like to draft the most. No one that I really see in the draft streets too often. A couple of badged guys. Maybe they're on autopilot, auto draft. A lot of red badges in this one. Only 3 badgeless players. One right next to me at the 112, one at the 103, and then one black badge guy at the 101. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. I'm probably gonna mix do some rankings on here, and then we will log off after this. So another hour on live. Maybe it'll go faster. Another hour on live. 15 minutes to show you guys my rankings, and then probably another 10 to 15 changing some rankings. Because Brock Bowers at 4, I should be picking him all the time. I'll probably go Bowers. I'll probably start with Bowers or get him in the second round. Getting cold. Getting cold. It's cooling down outside. These walls are pretty cold as well. So this draft starts Jamar, Saquon, Bijan, Gibbs, Jefferson, Lamb, Puka, Nico. Oh, I was supposed to tell you guys. I'll tell you guys going back around. Brian Thomas goes right before me. You know what? I might do. That's what I'm hoping to do. Neighbors Bowers. I haven't really got that start before. I think the Giants are very viable to draft Shadir, and I think that's a very good quarterback for the Giants organization. High floor, low. I think his ceiling is quite low, actually. Shadir, not as high as Cam Ward's, and I'm gonna go Bowers. But I think Malik is gonna give like Hunter did. He's gonna give him a chance to get open and just get the ball down to him. I think that'll be a very fair pairing, and probably I'm gonna queue him up and draft him with neighbors. We might even do like a next week or the week after do like a mock draft essentially, or maybe even after the combine, and then we'll do a mock draft. That will be fun. Let's see, when is the draft? Oh, I was going to talk about Nico. He's going to get in the end zone, but I don't think. For me, I think it's like a very pricey DK Metcalf. Better hands, probably. Maybe the same type of quarterback. This team is just a defensive-minded team, conservative team. I think you want whoever lands in as the running back on that team. I think that's who you're going to want. I think Travion Henderson going to the Texans would be interesting. I think Travion would drop a little bit. Kind of Joe Mixon would drop as well, but I think over time, I think you would have. I think Travion could do the Bucky Irving to a Joe Mixon. I think Joe's just a little bit older. However, Mixon could probably get in the end zone a little bit more. Lots of stories to tell yourself drafting this early. which is also fun. I think that's just what data analytics, data science is all about too, as well as just telling your story with data and players and the range of outcomes that can happen week in and week out and in the playoffs. If you guys liked this, are liking this video, liking my commentary, please like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at the Rafael Ibarra, and we will keep drafting live all through the summer, all through the spring, hopefully. I'm trying to get probably 300 drafts in this year before the summer starts. Probably draft and probably do about 50 big boards, max out the little board, and then everything else will go. Probably max the marathon, and then do more other drafts. Probably only do like 50's quite high. Probably do like probably 50 BBMs. Let's do the calculations real quick. 50 times 25 is 1,250. We're gonna do. Got my backpack right here. Do some quick math. Let's see. DJ Moore was a nice pick. What I would have probably gotten. Chase Brown is fun. I like Chase Brown. Chuba is fun too. James Cook is fun. Lamar goes. I could probably go Jayton here. I'm going to go Jaden. And I'm probably going to go maybe Addison Falls. Do we go DK? Do we go Chase Brown past ADP? All right, we're going to go Chase Brown. So we got Jayden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Brock Powers, and Chase Brown as our. So we do 1-1-1-1. And I got to change that because it says Sunday Night Football 520. Reminder. It's funny. So we were doing calculations on what I might do. So the little boards are, we're going to max that 150, I think, right? Times 3, 150. Oops. We're going to do probably about 50 on the high end. BBMs. Let's see. Little board. Big board. 1,250. Let's see. I said the marathon. Marathon was what, 10 or 15? I want to say it was 10. So 10 times 150. Another 1,005. BBM was 25. So let's see. Oh shoot. 125 goes to BBM. big board was, I think I said 50. So 50 times 10, 500. And then like, we'll do the math just for those, and then we'll add more. So how many drafts is this? This is 50 drafts. 50 drafts. Big board, I said 500 divided by 10, 50 here as well. The marathon 150, and then BBM 50 also. So that's 150, 250, 150, 150, 250, 300 drafts just in that. 1500 plus 1250 plus 500 plus 150 equals 3,400. And I think I wanted to do at least 5K in drafting. Minus 3,400 equals 0. There's another 1,006 just in whatever I can find to do. And I'll probably do like another I'll probably throw that in DraftKings maybe. Or I'll do less marathons maybe as well. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Let's see. But I'll be 650 in probably. Might even just do like 25 big board. Save a little bit more cash that way. Who's up next? Who's on the board? Who's on the board? Who's on the board? We did that. We started ultra running back heavy with Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, and Travion Henderson. We got our elite wide receiver, elite tight end, and elite quarterback. This is kind of a fun start, I think. A little different. And then we'll draft some wide receivers that I think I might like. I think probably going DK instead of Chase Brown would have been better. But I got Walker. I think that's just maybe the Seahawks aren't as explosive. They're running the football more. I think that could be a play on this team. I think this team, Khalil Shakir, Calvin Ridley, Mikabuka, I think all these wide receivers I like. Downs, Mooney, Leggett. Dobbs is fine, I think. Naylor is cool. Pearsall. Jacoby Meyers. Golden. Royals. Higgins, Besh probably. Dontavian. So I got elite tight end, elite wide quarterback. So I can wait on quarterback, tight end a little bit more. I can wait on running back a little bit more. I haven't got much Luther Burton. I heard he's more like a gadget play. Yeah, it's more like where he'd land. I think he'd be a fun cowboy. I think he'd be a fun ram. Probably a fun jaguar too. I think he's a guy that could fall in the second. Fun 49er probably too. But they just got Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall would have been nice to have on my team. Calvin Ridley, Ricky Pearsall going off back to back at 73 and 74. Two wide receivers that would have been nice to come back to me. I don't quite get the Ayuk capital. I think he should be going maybe a round later, but he is pretty good, I think. This is not like the type of draft I was shooting for. Buka would have been really nice there. Khalil Shakir, wide receiver 2 is kind of not great. Oh, and he goes too. That sucks. We might do Matthew Golden then. Hopefully he's good. Golden ADP of 93. I'd take him at 90. 83. I think I want Mooney here. Shot Bateman is nice too. Take Darnell. Not a fun 1, 2, 3 wide receivers, but maybe it'll work. Yeah. And then going back to the calculations, I think DFS is like what, $20 a draft. Let's see, 6 divided by 20, 80. I'll probably get like, I don't know, like, then I'll do $1,000, $20 draft. And then I'll do another. 600 divided by 3 is 200 drafts. At the $3 range. And that's fair. I think that is very fair. Yeah, I'll probably do less big boards then, or main marathons. And big boards. Probably do like probably cut the big boards in half to 25. Cut the marathons down to 75. That means cutting that down to 750, cutting that down to 250. 1250 plus 150,057, saving me 2,750. Oh wait, no. Minus 250 minus 750. 0. I have to add these actually. So 2750 minus 1,000. 1750. Then I'll have another 1,007. Oops. Oh, Bateman, not bad. Okay, cool. Cool. Wasn't too bad. Keelan Coleman or Keenan Allen? Don't really know. Don't know. Should I just grab Bryce again? Could grab Scatterboo instead. Yeah. I think that makes more sense. That's how it'll go. That means this is... That means I'll have 400 tied up from before combine or pre-draft. I will have 750 in the marathon. And then I'll have another 1250 in BBM. BBM 6 is mine, ladies and gentlemen. Mine. And then we're going to go on ship chasing and retire. Get some real estate and just sit back on the beach. Yeah. No, if I win BBM, I'm definitely drafting more. Of course. What I'm not good is props. I'm not really good at props. I'm not really good at what else am I not good at? Making lineups. Oh, look at just went. Sucks. Oh, I said I was gonna grab Shadir, huh? Yeah. Should I go Bryce? Yeah. Colston Loveland getting hype. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Rather just take that Evan Ingram, Cole Kmet. I'm gonna go Evan Ingram and Bryce Young. And then I'll get some rookies, wide receivers after that. Penix goes, excuse me. Whole lot of math on here. Look at that. It's crazy. Colston Loveland goes, give me Bryce. If I win BBM, if I win the big board, if I win the little board, getting me a Bryce jersey. Has been my guy through and through. Just really liked him, and just very poised as a quarterback. Can deliver the ball, can rush. It comes very natural to him. Very good player. Very good at in the high school level. Very good in the college level. Has a chance if the quarterback if the coach just likes him enough that he'll keep playing. If he plays good, then of course he'll keep playing. I think a Chuba Bryce combo is actually not too bad. We're gonna have a lot of Bryce, a lot of Geno this year, a lot of Jayden Daniels. Had those three a lot last year. Went well for me. Continue to do that this year. Their ADPs don't move. That's what I'm doing a lot. I think pre-draft is their ADPs are the same as last year. I think underrated, especially Geno, and that's just where I'm gonna take them. I don't think Caleb's. Now, once Bryce's ADP moves about where Caleb is at, I think I'd rather have the latter Caleb because his situation's better. I don't think Caleb's ADP can move, and like I was saying earlier, ladies and gentlemen, be on the guys that are going to move up now, and be on the guys later on who really think about the guys that can move down later on and get those guys. And they could probably even move in a range where you like them more or like them less. And then you evaluate even more, crunch the numbers even more. Are they going in the right position or not? What is the range of outcomes, etc., etc. I think Travis Hunter is another draft pick that would have been nice for me, but it's just going to be very interesting. In the NFL, I think he's a better wide receiver than he is a cornerback. Glad Cam Ward goes. Like I think I said, I think Shadir is the pick for me. Dontavian Wicks. Should I do it? Nah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm leaning towards days 2. Guy I'm back, and we will do probably double running back. I'm gonna grab Shadir now. Oh, I picked him early. I could have got him next turn. Dontavian goes. Ray Davis goes. I'm gonna just get Jalen Royals early. By then, by round 14, doesn't really matter ADP all that often, in my opinion. Just trying to draft the highest upside players. Jalen Noel will be on my team. Xavier Restrepo will be on my team. Adam Thielen will be on my team probably, or Coker. Aeneas Smith, maybe. Ricky White, maybe. I hope Bryce is just vocal enough that he needs a wide receiver 1. I also don't hope, though, that it is Tet, because I haven't got much Tet. I don't think I've drafted him at all on the big board. I think he's going a little high. A little high for what he can do. So done at quarterback, of course. Tight end will probably add one more. A Royal probably. Or Sanders. I like Sanders so much. I'll probably go like 8 or 9 wide receivers. Probably go Higgins and Besh. This guy at the 109 is also doing like a hyper fragile. Might go Higgins Besh then, to be honest. He goes Thielen. Might go Higgins Besh, Noel, then I'll go Harvey. Or Harvey and then Noel. Give me Higgins. This guy will probably go Marshawn Lloyd, I'm thinking. He went Harvey, wow. Interesting. Stafford, I'm going to go Besh. RG Harvey would have been nice. This team. Jordan James. Or my guy, Kyle Manungai. Frickin' Gus Edwards, imagine. Shits and giggles, do that. Sorry guys, my energy is a little bit low. I'm kind of in a distinct location. I think Kenny McIntosh is interesting. I like Woody Marks, he's explosive, but then again, I heard he can't block. And gets thrown down to the floor. So, I mean, that's not fun when he gets tackled. Doesn't have tackle breaking metrics. I think that this draft is kind of like solid. For doing something different, it's pretty solid. Darius Slayton. This would be like a Giants is good team. Probably Marshawn Lloyd is the last running back I want. What is DJ Giddens' stats? DJ Giddens. I think it was what, like a little bit small. ESPN. 6.6 yards per carry, 205 carries, 6'1", 212. Really? He looks small. Junior. Number 31 as a running back. Kind of weird, though. Not bad. Teams that they play. Decent teams, I guess. He might be a dart throw. Instead of getting Jordan James all the time, I'll get Giddens. Marshawn Lloyd goes. I think Noel, DJ Giddens is fun. Then I'll do Elijah Royal if I can't get them. Jordan James. That's how I'll do it. All right. I don't think he looked that fast when I watched him. Maybe that's why I don't draft him. If you have any questions, guys, any comments, concerns, please leave it in the comment section or DM me on Twitter at the Rafael Ibarra. The draft right now: Jayton Daniels, Bryce Young, Shadir Sanders. At quarterback, at running back, we have Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, Travion Henderson, Cam Scadaboo. At wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, Matthew Golden, Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman, Jalen Royals, Jaden Higgins, Jack Besh. At tight end, we have Brock Bowers and Evan Ingram. Oh, I said the names, but I didn't say at wide receiver. I have Malik Neighbors, Matthew Golden, Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman, Jalen Royals, Jaden Higgins, and Jack Besh. I think the guy in back of me wants to go running back, so I'm going to take running back here. And DJ Giddens. My battery's running low. I have it plugged in though. I'm gonna go Elijah Arroyo. Hopefully Noel comes back. If Noel does not come back, I'll be pissed. Hopefully Noel comes back. If Noel does not come back, I have to get Calvin Austin on my team. Curtis Samuel. All right, got the third tight end. Don't need tight end no more. Running back and wide receiver. Underdog seems to think this is a good draft. Understandably so. Bet you all these bats, those guys are like, what is this guy doing? The 111. I don't know. Testing something else. Testing something out. Let's tell stories, baby. The 18-7 goes Darnell Mooney. 18-8 goes Deontay Johnson. Gotta do some homework after this. Then go to the gym. This is just a live, so I could just post it and upload. So that'll be great. Or actually, it's already uploaded. That'll be great. At the 1902, 1903. Yep. Well, if you were in the draft, if you were in my other draft, let me know. If you liked this draft versus the other draft, let me know. If you liked my takes about the Rams and about the Bears, let me know. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, like I said, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know in my DMs. Follow, like, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be putting out content hopefully more than once a week here in the summer, hopefully like twice to 3 times. a week, but or at least longer 3-hour streams yet again. Hopefully I can fill the Ben Gretsch hole in all our hearts. Sad to see that he will no longer be drafting live or saying his takes live. Wondering how many people actually play basketball. Fantasy. I'll look that up. How many people play fantasy football each year? 33 million people play fantasy football. Wow. It's a lot. That is a lot. Got Jalen Noel at the 227 at ADP. Perfect. Jordan James goes right after. Keaton Mitchell goes right after that. This is my 20th pick. Do I do Kyle Monangai? Or do I do Curtis Samuel? I'm going to do Curtis Samuel. Be safe. Or do I just go Aeneas Smith? I like explosiveness. I might go Aeneas Smith. I need upside. I'm going to do that. This guy is blue. Why is he blue for? Interesting. All right, the final team, guys. And then we get to go into the rankings. Go into the guys that I draft, my rankings and my exposures, and then we call it a day. So in this draft, at the 111 was me. I got at quarterback Jayden Daniels, Bryce Young, Shadir Sanders. At running back, I have Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker III, Travion Henderson, Cam Scatterboo, and DJ Giddens. At wide receiver, I have Malik Neighbors, Matthew Golden, Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman, Jalen Royals, Jaden Higgins, Jack Besh, Jalen Noel, and Aeneas Smith. And at tight end, I got Brock Bowers, Evan Ingram, and Elijah Arroyo. All right, guys, we are going to the... I'm going to draw. I have to name this one too, huh? We'll wait. We shall wait. But that is draft 27, 37, 38. Draft 38. We'll wait till that is uploaded and then 3 more picks and we're good. 3, 5, 9, 3. Haven't done that before. I think the Chase Brown was a gift. We got the Kenneth Walker and Henderson gifts as well. Getting Bateman to fall to me was nice. Darnell Mooney fall to me was nice. Higgins and Noel fall to me was nice as well. Jalen Noel. The reason why I say Jalen Noel, I don't know. It just sounds better. And me coming from a Hispanic family, we really don't call like kids that are named Noel or Noel call them Noel. And also like Christmas song also. No, no. It's not no. You know? Makes sense, right? Refresh the page. Go to completed 38 drafts. Big board 11. We're going to name it Feb 2022. 23. Feb 23. February 23rd. Big YouTube live draft. 2. Number 2. I don't like that 2 there. Big. It's alright, it should save. It's fine. I had a dot in the other one. No dot in this one. Perfect. Now let me show you that little board that I did real quick with the guy that drafted 5 freaking wide receivers or quarterbacks. Look at that guy. Josh Allen at the 12, at the 13, Lamar Jackson at the 36, Jayden Daniels at the 37, Jalen Hurts, and at the 60, Patrick Mahomes. That's crazy. I just did that. That was pretty good, actually. The double tap tight end and TJ Hawkinson and Mark Andrews. Pretty nice. That is just a crazy team, dude. Like, all right, let me show you his team real quick. His team: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jayden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Rashad White, Braden Allen, Justice Hill. You're gonna have like zeros throughout the season with the running backs. Wide receivers: Jacoby Myers, Cooper Kupp, Keon Coleman, Isaiah Bond, Adam Thielen, Malik Washington, De'Ami Brown, and tight end TJ Hawkinson, Mark Andrews, David Njoku, Dallas Goedert, Mike Gesicki. At running back and wide receivers, questionable. At tight end and quarterback, not too bad. My team was this team. I was able to land this team at 3-8-6-3. So I guess hyper fragile, going with hyper fragile wide receiver-ish, kind of. Even though I landed, I think the last draft we just did 5 or 6 running backs. I think 5. I'm just doing the opposite. 3. I always do 3 quarterback, 3 tight end. 3 quarterback back: Brock Purdy, Geno Smith, and Aaron Rodgers. Tack on Aaron at the end of the draft. Just because I think he is a quarterback that can throw the ball near the end zone and get touchdowns that way. Purdy, and then Purdy offers some rushing upside, and then Geno is just competent for number 2 number 2 quarterback. At the running back position: Travion Henderson, Cam Scatterbo, Rico Dowdle, Devin Neal, Ray Davis, Jordan Mason, Jordan James, Kyle Monangai. So like 5 rookie wide running backs. And then 3 running backs could be starters or backups for their teams. And then we did wide receiver: Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, Jordan Addison falls to me in the 5th, I think, 5th or 6th. And then Ricky Pearsall, I think he's going to be a really nice piece for the San Francisco offense. And then Jalen Royals, a guy that's getting a lot of hype, that I like his tape a lot. And then tight end Brock Bowers, Tucker Kraft, and Elijah Royal. Bowers high ceiling, Tucker Kraft high floor, Elijah Royal ceiling for a tight end position. Really nice draft, I think, in my opinion. Hopefully that doesn't get kicked out, but that was another draft that was really nice. Probably not elite at quarterback, not too elite at. I think tight end's nice. I think running back is nice also. I like the picks, and then nice at wide receiver. Just not like elite at quarterback, in my opinion. I think if we were looking at that team versus the team that we just completed in the big board, Jane Daniels, Bryce Young, Gino, we have elite quarterback. Then we have Jordan, James Conner, Trevion Henderson, Cam Scadaboo, Rico Dowdle, Ray Davis, Marshawn Lloyd, Jordan James. Oh wait, that was the little board. The big board one was Jane Daniels, Bryce Young, Shadir Sanders, Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, Trevion Henderson, Cam Scadaboo, DJ Giddens, I think, and then Neighbors, Matthew Golden, Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman, Jalen Royals, Jaden Higgins, Jack Besh, Jalen Noel, or Jalen Noel, Aeneas Smith, Brock Bowers, Evan Ingram, and Elijah Royal. I think weaker at wide receiver, of course. Really strong at running back. I think strong enough at quarterback and tight end. Maybe the other team was higher floor. I think this team has a high enough ceiling where it can advance. Probably the other team's probably better though. But this team wasn't bad for doing something different, hyper fragile, or super elite wide receiver, triple elite, or triple anchor, I think it is called. Triple anchor RB with the elite quarterback, elite tight end. Or it's called just anchor wide receiver. So my exposure is going into after 38 drafts. Jalen Noel or Jalen Noel. 18 shares of 54%. Basically half of my teams have Jalen Noel on my team. Almost 50% of my teams have Jackson Dart. Let's do quarterback first. So Jackson Dart, highest exposed quarterback. Gino, like I said, Bryce also. I think JJ's relatively going low enough where you can get enough of him and he could pay off his ADP. Like I said, his upside play is like a Joe Burrow on that team, and then his downside's probably like, or his floor is probably like what Caleb did last year, or like what Purdy did last year, which isn't too bad, really. Trevor Lawrence after that, Baker after that. So like double digits on McCarthy, Dart, Gino, and Bryce, and then single shares on Trevor, Baker, Cam Ward, Nix, May, Jill. I got off of Milrow. I think I got like a couple of shares of him just to put him in, so to speak. Probably dropped to like day 2. I'm thinking like where Jalen Hurts, or maybe even lower than that, he got drafted. I want more Jaden Daniels, of course. So he should be really in the upper echelon. I'll get more of him. I think he's the best elite quarterback, in my opinion, passing and rushing. Caleb, Penix, Lamar. I think Lamar is good too, really good too. Daniels and Lamar is very interesting. I think that will be very interesting to do, like a 2-3 turn. Lamar Jaden. Who knows? Maybe I'll try that. See what goes there, goes on with that. Let's see. Then Goff, Hurts, Kyler, and then Jameis Winston, Dak, Jordan Love, Patrick Mahomes, and then that one share Shadur. And I got Jordan Mason as my highest exposed running back. I think he could be traded. The team will trade for him. He played really good. Or even as CMC's backup, I think he'll get on the field more. Marshawn Lloyd will get on the field as well. I think Rico Dowdle also. I think he's being underrated. I think he'll be a really nice number 2. Or maybe the Cowboys draft a running back and he's just not as good as Rico. And that could happen. Kenneth Walker going to be the focal point on that offense, I think. If he can just stay healthy, he'll be really good. Jordan James I have high. I think I'm very high on Chase Brown. I think he's a really good pick in the 3rd round. Dylan Sampson, I'm even with the field. I think Cam Scatterboo I really like as well. Caleb Johnson was getting him early. He's okay. Ray Davis, really good. Really good backup, I think. He's going to be a goal line back that gets just touchdowns. Kyle Monunga, I really like him. Chuba Hubbard, really like him. Ollie Gordon, going to get off him. Travion Henderson, more of him, please. Rashad White, going late enough where you can get more of him. Josh Jacobs. I think his price is a little steep, but I think he has the outcome to go in earlier next year. Gonna be that focal point, can run and pass the ball. I think he can be Saquon of this year. Aaron Jones, he's gonna be like used, I think, on any team he's on. I think he's better than Kamara at their ages, running and catching the ball, I think. DeAndre Swift after that. James Conner, got another share of him. Gibbs, I just really want to emphasize the players that I like. I want more Bucky, probably more Cook, but I'll get those players when I'm taking my stances, I guess. More RJ Harvey, hopefully. More Derrick Henry, more Saquon. Gene T, I'm really not in on right now. I think he could probably fall in the draft, and then I'll pick him up more. I think he's better as like a late 2nd, early 3rd pick than at the 1-2 turn. I think Jonathan Taylor and Gene T should switch ADPs, in my opinion. And let's see what the draft does to those guys. I think I'm more willing to take those guys there than where they're going now. Noel, like I said, highest exposed player. Good mobile tape. I think he could go day 2. Ridley, I think he's going to get Cam Ward. Maybe they go with Shadur. That would be nice. He can have really high upside, 1,000 yards back-to-back seasons, and gets touchdowns. DK Metcalf after that. I think he's just drafted so low. Jalen Royals after that. Really like him. Wow. Didn't expect so many shares from him, but that's nice to see. I know I was on Emeka Buka a lot. That's nice to see that. Josh Downs, drafting him a lot. A.J. Brown, drafting him a lot. Higgins, I didn't know I was on him that high. J.H. Jaden Higgins. Justin Jefferson, I know I was drafting him a lot. Ricky White, just a late round guy, I was drafting him a lot. Drake London, I like him at the 1-2 turn for sure, basically going to where he was drafted last year, and I'm more confident in his role moving forward than his role last year with Kirk Cousins. Let's see. I like Penix more. That's why. Jack Bash. I think I want more of him. JSN. He's an okay pick. I think I like Addison's price a lot more with what they can offer. Keenan Allen going in a range for if I did what I did on my last live draft. In the big board, I think Keenan Allen is a fun guy to have as your wide receiver 4 that can give you a high floor in terms of pass catches. Look at all those targets that you had last year: 121, 70 receptions, 740 yards. I think maybe he could be probably the Tyler Lockett though if this year really falls off the planet. DJ Moore, I really like DJ Moore's price. I think he's getting drafted too low. Xavier Legette, give him another chance to stay healthy and play with Bryce. Jameson Williams, I like his price too. He might be going too high though. Maybe. Who knows? Just depends on what he does. BTJ, I like his price. I think if you were to give me BTJ or Nico, if I would have to choose, I would go BTJ over Nico. Just more explosive, I think. Better hands. BTJ's comp for me, who was it? Probably like more explosive AJ Brown. Not as big, but really, really good, really nice player. Has a chance to go probably in the top 5 next year if he does what he does again. Amon-Ra after that, really nice guy going in the same range as him. Haven't got a team with both of them, but that would be really nice. Garrett Wilson after that. Restrepo. Garrett Wilson's going in a nice place. Restrepo. Heard he's like the Ricky Pearsall this class, and if that's that, then that's nice too. Ricky Pearsall. Debo probably leaving. I think Jawan is going to have a step back. I think Pearsall is going to have a step forward. T, if he can just stay healthy, man, this guy is like a top 15 wide receiver in the NFL. He should be going in the second round, in my opinion. He could probably go in like middle of the second, but people just don't want to draft him there. I just haven't really got early draft picks, which is why I don't draft T. Maybe I could pull him in the early first, but who knows? Chris Olave later. I like his tape. His tape's nice. I don't like their quarterback. I think they're going to be conservative around the ball, which is why I don't draft Olave too much. Curtis Samuel, late round dart pick. I want to do something like exotic Travis Hunter, especially now where he's going. Zay Flowers you don't know where he's going to get drafted because of his injury. He's probably like one of the worst picks right now. Rashad Bateman, I like his draft pick where he's going. Naylor was pretty good last year. CDs, probably like on the lower range of the first round guys that I'd try to get, but I think he's going to be just fine. Probably put up like 2022 numbers, in my opinion, which is really good. That's like probably what Amon-Ra put up last year. I think getting him another target earner would free him up some space. Pat Bryant, just got a couple of shares of him. I think his tape is pretty good. Jamar Chase, like I said, haven't really got early round picks from him. Brandon Ayuk, I think I want to hear more clarification on him. Roman Wilson, just a dart throw. Xavier Worthy, I think I need more picks with him. I don't think that the Chiefs will be all that explosive, but they could be next year. Chris Godwin, I don't know what the injuries entail for him. Matthew Golden, I heard he's going to be really good. Really did his work in the college football playoffs. Tez Johnson looked good at Mobile. Rasheed Rice, who knows about him? Keon Coleman, maybe he steps up. Devontae Smith, I need more of him probably. But they could just be dominant and not use him at all again. Kyron Lacey, don't need to speak about that guy. I think I liked what he did with Malik Neighbors and with being the number 3 basically on a really good offense showed me. And with a good quarterback in Jaden Daniels, he could do what he does, but being 24 years old and finally going to the NFL is kind of weird. Jalen Polk, got the one share of him. Tolbert, he could be a nice number 3. Trey Harris, he's okay, I think. Malik Neighbors, need more of him. Just took him. That was my first share of Neighbors. Darnell Mooney, first share of him. Coker, only took one share of him. Kirk, I heard they're gonna move off of Christian Kirk. The Jags are, which is very interesting to see. That's probably like signs that he's getting older. Maybe rehab's not doing great. Had a couple injuries. He could really fall off. One of my bigger fades last year going into the 4th round. I just did not like that pick at all. Dontavian Wicks dropped some passes last year. Maybe he can step up. But I think they're just going to be, wide receiver by committee, so to speak, and just run the ball a lot. I think Dobbs is more like that go-to wide receiver. And then, I think Green Bay is just ham and egging it at the wide receiver position. Rashid Shaheed going okay where he's going. I just don't know. Jerry Jeudy is kind of going high. Who knows what they're going to do at quarterback? Maybe I need more of him. And then Troy Franklin. Yeah, Troy Franklin. And then tight end, we have Tucker Kraft, the top position. TJ Hawkinson. I think Tucker Kraft is just like an end zone target. He's their I think I see him as their number 1 target earner, pass catcher. Kraft, and he's just going a little bit too low, in my opinion. Jatavion Sanders, he looked really explosive with Bryce. Cole Kmet, I think he's going to have like a Sam Laporta type season. Hawkinson can really do good as well. A.J. Barner I have high. Elijah Royal also have high. Tyler Warren, all around wide receiver that can go to like the Rams or the Broncos and be really utilized there. Mark Andrews up there too. Left us a bad taste in our mouth, but maybe he moves on or maybe he just plays really good for Baltimore after this season. Evan Ingram can be number 2 since Christian Kirk is leaving. Kyle Pitts can maybe get a fresh start somewhere else. Mike Gesicki in there could stay with Burrow. Jack Bringingstool. I think I liked his tape. That's why I got a couple shares of him. David Njoku people like Brock Bowers. Of course, Brock Bowers. No explanation there. Theo Johnson. Really nice. Late round tight end. Jake Ferguson. Pretty cool. He's just a Dallas tight end that can get touchdowns in the end zone. They always run that. I call it a 7 route, post corner near the end zone. Dallas does. I've been watching that route ever since. It seems like Jerry Jones calls that route when they're near the end zone for all their tight ends year in and year out. Hunter Henry, maybe the number 1 pass catcher for the Patriots. George Kittle, maybe he hit his ceiling last year, but really top 5 tight end, in my opinion. Maybe top 7. Chigo just elite round tight end. Colston Loveland, took my first share of Colston Loveland. I think he's like interesting because he's not that great of a pass. I think, in my opinion, I would draft more Tyler Warren because he's more versatile. But I think for fantasy, Colston Loveland, I understand why he's getting drafted where he's getting drafted. And then, of course, Trey McBride. Number one pass catcher for Arizona. Maybe he gets in the end zone one more time. And guys, those are all my exposures. I hope you guys enjoyed drafting with me, listening to me. I hope I'm louder. I can be louder next draft when I'm home, next video when I'm home. But until then, hopefully I can have more drafts, more exposures for you guys. And we can draft together. Hopefully I'm on time next time. But thank you guys so much for listening. I'll see you guys next time. Be safe. Bye-bye.